Are we live? Are we live, Josh? Hey, everybody. Welcome to Immortals Inc. podcast. We're back here. It's Carlos Robles from Immortals Inc., the proprietor, half of them. Anyway. And, of course, I have Nate Elwood with me again.
Greetings.
Our role-play reviewer, discusser of many things, and I don't know. Bunch of nonsense. Oh, he does 40K on Friday nights too.
I do.
Or what are you doing now? The
Kill team right now.
Kill team is very nice, specializing in.
But anybody wants to play 40K, come on.
Yeah, we got whatever you want to play. We're here. Games Workshop related, it's here.
Yes.
Specifically futuristic Games Workshop related.
Yes.
We're kind of keep a theme there.
Yeah.
Because Age of Sigmar is on Thursday nights.
Yeah.
So that's
Friday night 40K.
Yep.
You got nothing better going on, so come on.
Yeah. Friday night. Instead of drinking.
Well, we're talking about role players here, so.
Oh, well, come on now. Unless Josh is. You getting that liquor license, Josh? Okay. No, we're not getting a liquor license. Just playing. All right. So today we're going to review Over the Edge role-playing game.
Yes.
But we'll do that in a second. You got anything new and exciting before I go on my rant about...
I mean, other than the 40K Friday nights, not really. I mean...
Apocalypse came out and you're not even going to say something about that?
Well...
Don't me.
I'll put it this way.
No, I'm kidding.
Apocalypse seems really, really cool. But it seems like the buy more models type of business model they have. Like, why just have a normal game when you can have 10,000 miniatures instead of
Is it more
200?
It's more for the guys who've got huge armies.
Yeah, you would
not building up to an apocalypse.
Right, you don't start off like I'm going to play 40K and I'm going to buy Apocalypse because you'll be spending like thousands of dollars on an army for that. So yeah,
that's the impression I got that if you got too many models.
Right. If you've been
this rule system.
Right, they have 8 editions, and there have been people playing for 30 plus years, so they have quite the collection.
Yeah,
so
I understand.
This is bring all your toys type of thing. Yeah.
I don't think I could do I don't think I'd have enough points. What's the points for Apocalypse?
Well, it goes by it's a completely different game. I mean, it's similar to 40K, but it's very completely different as far as rules and stuff go. So it's all based off of power levels. So basically, each unit would have a different rating to it, and you'd build up to. They say regularly around a 100 point. And that's, if you were to put into like match play point systems, it'd probably be around 3,000 to 3,500 per side.
They do it by units, though?
Yeah, they do it by unit. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks like a cool game. I've seen a lot of reviews on it. I've seen a lot of battle reports on it, but I myself haven't picked it up yet just because I don't have like the force.
Yeah, that's, I didn't.
Oh.
Nate's kids are saying hi on chat.
Oh, they're watching. At least, hey, we got 2 viewers. That's awesome.
To like, help us, Dad.
That's not my father.
Someone save us. Well, that's cool. But yeah, I went light on the Apocalypse because I figured it'd be a special order thing, and I got the core. I mean, it's one box of rules, so I haven't even looked at it. So.
I mean, it's a unique system. It really is. And if you have a huge amount of models, definitely. I mean, if you and your friends, like normally Apocalypse was like, hey, let's play an Apocalypse game. You bring all your toys, I'll bring all mine, and we'll get 2 turns done in a weekend. Like literally 3 days of playing, and you'll get to turn 2.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
But now this is sped it up quite a bit. It's very unique. It's very, it takes the huge amount of models and condenses the rules enough to make it where you could play a big, huge game in 3 hours, just like a regular game of 40K. So it is cool. I will not take away from it being cool, but it's definitely not like, hey, you want to play 40K? Let's start this game because you have to have an immense army to begin with.
Okay. What's the play area on that?
I say again.
The play area, how big? Is
it's 6x4, but it can be bigger depending on how many points, how many power level points you have.
It's same size.
For 100 power level, yes, but once you get higher than that, they recommend I think it's like a 8x4. It gets to pretty big tables if need be. So,
all right. Well, we got that. This last weekend, which was the
4th. No, not the 4th of July.
Well, the 4th of July. Well, the 4th of July weekend was pre-release for Magic 2020. So this last weekend, Magic 2020 came out. It's a core set. So if anybody wants to jump in at a core set or jump into Magic, this is a good time to say. This is my opinion. This is a good time to jump in because you don't have to follow a storyline or anything. Fridays, $15. $15 for Friday drafts,
Yeah.
and it's a new set. So it's if you're into it or you want to start getting into it, that's a good way to go. We also do, I don't even remember, Commander on Tuesdays or Saturdays and Mondays. Tuesdays are we keeping modern or are we changing something? Yeah, Tuesdays we're going to switch modern to something else because modern kind of
petered out a little bit.
petered out. Commander took over and Standard started actually showing up. More people start playing.
Well, isn't Standard the more competitive type?
It is, but I
Yeah.
think people are having fun with a new set, with the War of the
Okay.
Spark, and maybe this. I think they're starting to have fun with it again. I think they're trying to keep the prices down. But I've noticed a lot of people playing casual
Mm-hmm.
play Standard. I think they're because they're new.
Right.
I think eventually they'll go over to Modern. They'll either go over to
Like-
Modern or
Like I was
Commander.
talking to a couple people about Magic, and they're like, "Oh, you would like, because I'm not looking to have a really competitive game. Like, oh, just do a clan deck, like make all goblins or something. You probably won't ever win, but it's going to be fun." I'm like, oh, all right,
it's no
whatever.
fun if I can't win.
Well,
You can always try.
well, then I'm like, well, what about a semi-competitive? Oh, you only $700 or $800 for a deck. I'm like,
No,
yeah,
no,
it's not gonna happen.
Oh, Standard? Yeah, Standard. Yeah,
like,
Standard sometimes. the
they're like,
prices-
that's a tier 2 deck. If a tier 1, you're looking at
Huh?
like $2,000.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
competitive.
Well, that's what
$700-$800. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, well, tier 1
But even if you
competitive
half
deck.
that, it's too. Well,
I'm
I mean,
like-
that's I guess depends on how much
Hey,
money you
if
want to waste.
whatever
on
floats your boat.
yeah,
you
I
know,
was gonna say
like,
because you buy some role playing books and
oh
one
man,
weekend
yeah.
you could it's a couple $100 if you really
take
get
me
into
to
it.
Gen Con one time, and
Yeah. Yep.
like college fund kids.
I like going now and buying stuff I don't need because
Yeah. It's terrible.
I'm old and I have disposable income. The
Must be nice.
wow. Yeah, I'm not going to say I'm rich. No, I'm not. I'm not at all. We get pops on a regular basis. We found a new place. We can pre-order pops. The funny little guys.
Who doesn't like pops?
Funko Pops. Sorry.
Yeah.
Funko Pops. We can pre-order those. We can special order those. We can do all that again.
They
They
do
were
have
a-
the Stranger Things ones down
Yeah,
here.
I got
they
those
got the Demogorgon.
pre-ordered.
So
Yeah, so I got pre-ordered for the new ones, and I try to stick with like relevant stuff. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get like whatever.
Bullwinkle or something.
I
yeah.
was going to get the presidents, but he wouldn't let me.
Oh.
Yeah, it started with George Washington on up, and he's like, "No, that's stupid." I'm like, "All right, you unpatriotic person." No, I'm kidding.
I don't think you have enough room to store them anymore.
I got a whole stay. I got a garage.
All right.
I got a garage.
You got more. You got more.
Let's see. Tiny Towns is still out, the board game. I don't know anything about it, but it was supposed to be the talk of the town. So I said I'd mention it. So I did. Tiny Towns. I'll have to look at it. I just gave a copy of Tiny Towns to Side Quest, the bar
Okay.
in Lakewood. I
Oh,
just
all
gave them,
right.
yeah, because I just shouldn't say I gave it to them, but you know, we have an arrangement. We do a little ad there, and they get board games. And
That's a great place
I
to
just
go.
dropped off Tiny Towns and Bird, and Bird. So if you want to try the game out, go ahead down to Side
and have
Quest.
a couple of tasty beverages
Yeah.
and good company too. Like
Yeah.
I've
They're silly
yet to
down
go in there and not have a good time.
Yeah,
so.
they're pretty silly. So they got a bunch of games you can try down there too.
Oh yeah, they have a whole.
So
They have 3 whole shelves of games. Just you come in there and they do make you put a little bit of money, like on some of the
Well, you
rare
gotta
and older.
deposits.
Yeah, you got to put
Yeah,
some
I mean, I
just
don't know.
because
Come on.
you have alcohol and games. So yeah, if somebody spills their beer all over a game from the 1980s, that's hard to find.
come
then.
on, we're
Like,
not new
yeah,
here. We all
yeah.
know what happens, you
Yeah.
know. There's a lot of that. Vanguard came out with a new set this weekend called I have no idea because it's crazy.
Oh, it's all.
Yeah, it's whatever they are. I wish I knew. I should probably prepared better, but I got here late. But it wasn't even like the Vanguard I wanted to say. I wanted to revisit pre-orders. If you want to get something and it's limited and you want to get it for sure and you want me to get a lot of it, pre-order. That's all I have to say because I can't, this is a business part of it. I
Yeah.
can't dump a lot of money into something that maybe you might pick up. Got to know.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you prepay.
Everybody's got overhead.
Yeah, you can prepay, you get a
Inventory
discount. Prepay a lot, you might get a better discount. You know, you just have to see. But come talk to us, mostly Josh, because I hate giving stuff away.
Yeah, talk to
Diana.
Josh, definitely.
Josh is
Diana's.
Josh is pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Diana's the one to talk to. She'll give it away for nothing. Yeah, paying you what? But yeah, just come
Honestly,
on, guys.
though, yeah,
this is for the Vanguard guys. Come on, get your orders
keep your
in.
brick and mortar stores going.
Yeah, I can't.
Come on in and get what you want.
I can't guess. You know, like 3 weeks, 1 week, and I'm not criticizing them, but just it is with the flow of it.
Yeah.
If a month beforehand, yeah, everybody wants it, and then I have to pre-order things months in advance.
Right.
And then especially like Vanguard, it's very specific. If you said I wanted 10 boxes, that's what you get.
Yeah.
I can't call up the day of or 2 weeks before and go, hey, I need another 10. Too bad. We don't have any.
Limited release.
Yeah, it's just they make very specific amounts and allocations for it. And but if you give me pre-orders, I can work better. Work with me, so I know. And then that's it. That's it for now.
That's it
to the
for
end.
now.
I have one other note. Oh, wait. One last thing. I was contacted by Gaming at the Cabin. This is 3 full days of gaming fun, August 9th through the 11th. This group came in. They said they rented a cabin out in Hinckley, Ohio. The Brooklyn Exchange Cabin. You ever hear of that?
I have not.
It's Hinckley. I guess they're going to have 3 days of gaming.
What kind of gaming are they talking
board
about?
gaming. I think this is their first time doing it, but they asked us to push it out, so I did. If you
Must
go
be a pretty
to
big cabin, then.
Huh?
Hopefully it's a big cabin.
They said it was like one of those big, like those big, open cabins. I'm not really sure.
Type thing. Okay.
But if you go to Gaming at the Cabin, Google Gaming at the Cabin, it'll pop up. They got a big long website.
Who's
here.
it being put on by? Is it a group?
Gaming, it's a smaller group, brand new group. Let's put it this way: they have a Google.com site, gaming.atthecabin.home.
Okay.
So it's new. It's new. Doesn't mean you shouldn't give them a try, but some people like to get out in the woods for a while, game, and usually those things are good. They seemed wholesome.
On the up and up.
They seem wholesome and normal. It wasn't like a cult came in. Hey,
yeah.
you got any despondent
come
people?
to this cabin in the woods.
Do you have any despondent people that
Where's all your introverts who don't talk that much?
That don't have families.
Yeah.
No, they seem pretty cool. Gaming at the Cabin. We have flyers here, and we'll probably push it out again before then. So. All right. So I'm done with my spiels, and Nate, go over the edge. What? Oh, Josh, I am drinking Liquid Death, now available here at Immortals Inc. Not Bavarian. Drinking water from the Australian Alps. Murder your thirst. We have this for sale, and I drink it. And it's water in a can, so don't be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
But it's mountain water in a can.
From the Alps.
Go to liquiddeath.com and check out their ad.
Yeah.
If watching the ad will make you want to come and get one.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a sip right now, and Nate will talk.
All right. So we are going to be talking about this lovely, lovely book called Over the Edge.
I like the way that started.
Well, it's actually the 3rd edition of this game. First edition was in 1992. And that was kind of when the independent, or just indie role-playing games in general were really
90s?
big.
Man, I could have thought it was the 80s. But
19,
probably a holdover, but go ahead. 1992
was the first edition. Second edition came out in 1997. And at the time, it was unique because it used a dice pool. And at that time, a lot of games, like other than like Shadowrun or Vampire and stuff, it was, a D20 or it was based upon what you rolled, not how many successes you got. Everybody knows. Well, most people know how a dice pool works.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of innovative at the time when it came out. So fast forward, 20 some odd years later, and they come out with a 3rd edition. So from Atlas Games, it's about 275 pages long, hardback. It's easy to navigate. I'll give it that. The index is built into it, and it's very good. It also comes with I like how a lot of role-playing games are doing this now, where they have the built-in ribbon bookmark.
I have noticed that's on everything now.
It's the little things.
Yeah, that's never use it, but yeah, it's nice. Me personally.
What's funny about this is the creator kind of I don't know. Some people might find it funny or endearing or whatnot, but he's basically like, oh, you need to make this your book. It's such a open-ended type of game that you should fill in the margins, put all your notes, and that should be your book. It should be definitely like if somebody picked up like, oh wait, this is so and so's book, and he's like, and then buy a second copy and have that for your players. Great marketing. Anyway.
Does it say that in there?
Yeah, it actually there's like a good paragraph of like how to make you should make this book your own and whatnot. And it's a weird game.
Okay.
All right, it's a weird game.
Was it tongue in cheek or was it a serious?
It's hard to tell. I mean, this whole book's premise is a little weird.
Okay, go ahead.
So it's a sandbox game, and it focuses on characters, kind of fast gameplay, and weird concepts. It's meant for players and GMs to toss whatever ideas they could possibly have into a blender, right? And hit the grind button, and just think of any conspiracy theory ever, and even ones that haven't been thought of yet. Throw them all in there, and you can have this game. So before I get to like the potatoes of the game, which is the rules, you got to get to the meat, which is the setting. And I can see why this is a cult classic. Like it's an interesting setting. So the action takes place on an island in the Atlantic called Alamar or Alamarja. Marja. I can't. I don't know if I'm even pronouncing it. It's Al-Amarja. Alamajah. But
I'll look for you, but go ahead.
It's on this, like I said, it's on this Atlantic island. Its main city is The Edge, which is really where you're going to be, what this book completely focuses on. It's both.
Sorry, there's a map in here. And it's,
yes.
The Edge. Oh, I get it.
It's like the ultimate democratic republic capitalist state, right? So it's run by the state, which is a highly militarized, bureaucratic, mind-bogglingly bureaucratic, like debilitating so in some ways. And it's weird. I'll put it that way. It's weird because everything, like, it's almost like a parallel Earth, you could say, in a way, where it's in the near future, but there's also aliens and paranormal stuff and just anything you can think of, actually. I mean, it's hard to shoehorn it in and give it an accurate description, but basically it's designed so that whatever you can think of, you can put into this game. Whatever crazy idea you come up with, you put into this game. It gives you guidelines on how to do that. It gives you an amazing, like half the book, over 100 pages of the book are dedicated to the city of The Edge. Breaks it down district by district, the movers and shakers, a lot of springboards for ideas and adventures or whatever. And it's the meat of the game is that setting. And from what I never played the original game back in the 90s. I remember hearing about it. Like there was a friend of mine who was into the game. It's one of those games where he was always trying to get everybody else to play, and we're like, well, what do you do? And he's like going through it. And we're like, and we'll play Warhammer instead. So I mean, but it definitely has the people who really, really like the game. And I think this book is catered to people who liked the game before, because there's a lot of inside jokes that if you are new to this game, reading through it, like the first time I read through the book, there's a lot of stuff like this doesn't make, they're making references to stuff they haven't talked about yet. So it felt like you were kind of like you're reading a book and you feel like you're the outsider in a new clique, and it's like, what? Yeah. I wish I could say that this game was fantastic. I really do, because there's concepts in there that are really cool.
It looks like it's just flipping through it. It looks like it's a mesh of every, like you said, conspiracies and aliens and mutants and sci-fi and fantasy. And
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a cool setting. Like the city of The Edge, the premise behind it.
It looks detailed too.
And even the GM section where it goes through the history of Earth and how all this weird stuff came about. It's really cool. I mean, it's very cerebral, but it's really hard to. I think if you weren't a fan before, or if this wasn't directly up your alley, this would be a book that you'd be like, man, why'd I pick it up? I mean,
very specific.
Yeah, and like I said, just reading through it the first time around, I'm like, man, you really do feel like you're out of the loop, because there's all these references to previous stuff that if you hadn't read it before, you don't understand. If
I remember right, there was a fair amount of adventures or backstory to this.
Yeah,
a lot, and there was even a card game.
Yes.
So
I mean, there was a lot to Over the Edge in the 90s, and there's a lot of supplements. I mean, they had enough to make it a second edition. Mm-hmm. This is not second edition update. This is a new
brand
system.
New game.
Right. I mean, they have they kept the ideas and the concepts and stuff in there, but they kind of updated some of the stuff because I mean, obviously, like from the 90s, you're not gonna have fax machines and stuff like that, but all the shenanigans of the old game, if you were into it, from what I was reading, it's still in here. It's just been modified a little bit to make it more 21st century.
Okay.
And I can't, to be honest, like the system itself, going through the system, like it's meant to, here's the rules. All right, now they're really simple. Throw that to the side. Focus on the story. That's pretty cool, and it does that pretty well. Like character creation it's a breeze, really. I mean, you start off by the GM saying, okay, well, I'm gonna have a story arc, and I want my arc to be X amount of sessions. 1, 2, 3. This is the GM before the game even starts. When the players sit down to make characters, he's like, it's kind of like they compare it to like a sitcom or something like that. Like this is one story arc. This is how long I want to play. Because it's meant for you not to have the same characters over and over and over for a really long time.
So if you have a story and you say, okay, I want to have a 4 adventures, a month-long story.
Right.
It's going to be 4 adventures.
And that sets the level of the characters. How long the story is going to be, that's how competent So obviously, if you have this really long, drawn-out adventure, you don't want to play bumpkins. So they'll be like, okay, you'll set. And to be honest, the stats are really secondary. To be honest, there's only 3 stats. That's it. I mean, the whole point of the game is to make this really unique character, and it is a cool way to make a character. Basically, you come up with your name, very easy. Then you have what's called the question mark, and that's an adjective to kind of describe, or a short phrase to describe a character. So, but it needs to be presented as kind of a question. Like, so what I put was Johann Doe, and question mark is like regular guy. And then you have your main trait, and this is a description basically that's going to set the tone for what your character can be able to do. So I put something very union plumber inhabited by an alien energy life form. That's it. That's all you have to do. Boom. You can put whatever you want in there.
And that's part of the stats.
That's part of the stats. Then you have to kind of go through. Okay, so if this guy's a union plumber and he's inhabited by an alien energy life form, so all right, so he's got a marketable skill. He's accustomed to hard work, decent physical shapes. He can get into places easy because honestly, you put a hard hat and carry a ladder, you could probably get into Fort Knox. He's not conspicuous. But on the same side, that whole alien life form thing, he's excessively highly intelligent and he knows things. Then you have a secondary trait. Just one word to whatever. I put telekinetics. Move stuff with his mind. And there's the premise of the game. Yeah. There you go. Boom. That's your character. That is your character. Then you have capability grades, which is more specific to the arc, how many sessions you're going to have, or level. And those are basically rerolls when you cast lots. Lots are a different thing. I'll get into that for instance. And then you have trouble. What it's meant for that everybody at the table can understand your character a little better and to kind of goad your character into doing things that, let's face it, you want to happen in a role-playing game. Like playing it safe and sitting around eating potato chips and watching a movie is not, nobody would sit around to role-play that. So, like with this, since he's an alien life form, sometimes he misunderstands what's normal. And he'll act too alien at times. And then you have notes, which is height, weight, age, sex, or little things like, how did this character come about? And that's it. That's your character.
There's no number stats?
There are number stats that come with the capability grade. There's fight, sway, and weird.
And that's it.
That's it.
So this is truly
that's
storytelling.
Everybody comes up with a very unique, and the weirder the better. Like you want to play something that's really, and then they work together to have a way of all coming together, some kind of theme for the group, and then you play a game. So, like I said, the concept of it's pretty cool. But overall, it's an off-putting game because it's so unwieldy and so ambiguous and such broad strokes.
It is.
That it's almost like, well, just sit around and storytell. I mean,
is that why? Maybe that's why it's got so much background.
You'd have to have the background for this.
But I mean, really. That's probably why they have so much background. And it sounds like a total total storytelling, role
Right.
playing.
Like it's meant for you to be pretty loose in how the game develops and think on your feet and much like the Blades in the Dark.
Mm-hmm.
But Blades in the Dark even had more. It was really clunky. And in fact, they made it really cool concepts, but made it really, really clunky, which is why it's a great game, but like it's hard to play, but it's possible. With this one, it's more along the lines of flying by the seat of your pants. And unless you have a group that is really comfortable together, really good at coming up with stuff on the fly.
So this wouldn't be like a new game. No.
Not even believe me, some experienced people I think would have trouble with this game. Because you always have the one dude who just likes to sit around and wants to roll dice and kill stuff. There's always one in the group, right?
No way.
This is not for that. And then again, there's a lot of weird stuff in there. Like in the original ones, like everybody has nooses as neckties. It's like a fashion thing. If you didn't know that, if I didn't go back and read about it, I'm like, why the hell is almost every picture in here somebody has a noose around their neck? And then I went back and I realized,
see, I vaguely remember something about that.
Yeah.
I mean, like
I
never played it, but I read some of. Yeah,
there's a lot of baboons.
I don't know.
But
why is an island?
Like, I'm not trying to completely poo on this game because it's got great ideas in it. But to be honest, it just doesn't. This third edition, there's no hit points. You get stricken, and you can be stricken up to X amount of time. It's so ambiguous and painted with such broad strokes that it doesn't give it enough structure to truly be a game that kind of fits into the niche of role playing. This is definitely a very small percentage of people who've been into the game before would be really into this game, and that's kind of unappealing to me because I like bringing people into new games, but even experienced gamers might have a problem with this simply because it's so ambiguous.
I could see this from what you're describing as just sitting around, basically telling a story.
Yeah,
with this huge background, with this already.
Well, there's a dice rolling aspect to it. It's not just, the old cops and robbers, bang bang, I shot you. It's called casting lots, and there's a really weird part in here about the dice. I don't know if it was meant as tongue in cheek, but it's almost like it's almost a half a page talking about just the 2 sixers that you use for the game, 2d6. For all of your rolls, it's going to be 2d6 based on your grades. If it's higher or lower than what you're trying to accomplish, what's harder, you can re-roll. But basically, you want to get a 7 or an 8, depending on how difficult it is. And rolling 4s is good, and rolling 3s is bad. They're called twists. So if you rolled, let's say, a 3 and a 4, you get one good twist and one bad twist, and you accomplish what you wanted. You roll 2 3s, you didn't accomplish what you want, very bad things happen. You roll 2 4s, crazy 8s, get what you want to accomplish plus 2 good twists. It's really...
Is there a chart?
That's just it. It's left up completely. They give guidelines on what twists could be, but it's really the GM has to be very experienced and very quick on their feet.
You don't think somebody was being lazy, do you? Or they just think
I don't think it was. I think what I think it was, because it's the original creator who did 3rd edition, and he wanted to do something new. And when you have somebody that intimate with the knowledge,
the original?
right?
All right. Well,
when you have somebody already that
I'm sure
intimate with the knowledge already, it's really easy to come up with this stuff. But I think people just stepping into this is definitely a game that I don't think a new player would like to pick up at all. And in fact, unless you're a really niche group, I don't think that you'd want to pick it up. Like, unless you really want to know what Over the Edge is about. If you really like the setting and you want to use a different type of game system.
Do you think he wrote it? So does it seem like he wrote it for the ones that played it before?
Like I said, the whole book.
Or do you think he was too close to it?
I think it's a combination of both.
Okay.
I think a combination of being really close to it because you could tell that the writer loved what they were doing.
Oh,
There's nothing in here that says they were being shorthanded or lackadaisical or anything. They love what they're doing.
Say the book looks good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of...
Oh yeah. There's the book itself is beautiful. It's got good art in it. It's laid out well. I mean, all the hallmarks of a good role playing game are there, except the system itself being so ambiguous, so broad stroke that it would be, unless you're an excessively witty person and you have excessively witty character PCs, would be hard to run. And well, it's a major shortfall, in my opinion, on something that otherwise, with more structure, in my opinion, and again, this is just my opinion.
You kind of like rules.
Yeah,
I like
having
you like systems. I've been listening to you, so you
I like having systems. A clear set way of doing things.
Yeah.
Because other than that, why even have just sit around and make up a story, And to me, I like having the idea of that randomness of like combat systems or I like having that chance. And if it's presented well, easier the better. Like with the all flesh, you roll one die and you add a couple of things together and boom.
Mm-hmm.
To me that is awesome because you can put that into situations. In this, you don't really want to roll dice that often. It's called casting lots because you don't want to roll dice because you want climax type stuff for this to happen for you. So a lot of it's just talking, which is fine, but again, there's sometimes where you want that randomness, that chance part to come in. I mean, this is just the opinion of Nate.
Yeah. No, I could see though where if you were a storytelling guy, or you had a storytelling group, or like a bunch of say actors,
right?
Or, a playhouse, or whatever it is. People that are creative. Huh?
A trope. Yeah.
Improv. Yeah.
A trope of people.
Trope. Yeah.
Right.
A trope of is that actors? Trope. Yeah. Actors or improv or something like that. Where you don't want the rules. This is probably sounds like something you would like to try, but I think it looks like it's got a pretty good background.
It does. No, I mean it's got 25 years of background.
Just listening to you and knowing that, and I'm looking. It sounds like he's more worried about his world, his background world that he wants to play in. And
yeah,
the rules are like okay, if you need random, here's random, or this is just something to make it so it's not just people yelling at each other.
Right.
This is what I did. No, you didn't.
Well, from what I was reading about the old editions, it was still the rules took second place to story, but they were. I think it was called the warp system. Was the term for it? But it actually, it had enough rules in it that it gave it more structure. This one is just. To me, it's just too ambiguous. And like I talked about casting lots, it's 2d6s. Like I said, half a page is talking about basically fetishizing your dice. I don't know if it's tongue-in-cheek or not, but it's like you should pick these 2 dice, and they should always be your 2 dice, and they should be only for this game. And you should... Even every time you play this game, this is only even if they roll badly or whatever. These are the dice that you use only for this. And it's like
that would make me laugh. You just telling me that makes me laugh.
It's almost like put these on a shrine, on an altar, sacrifice one bunny a week.
If he's being serious, I'm a little creeped out. But if he's just being funny, it's funny.
You don't know.
Well, that's hence the name over the edge. Maybe that's what he's going for. I don't know.
Like I said, the premise behind it is pretty cool. The conspiracies that are in here are really good, and the history, the alternate history and stuff, it's really good.
It's a good read.
It's a good read.
Okay,
I'll get it. Like when you get to the city and you're going through, like, oh wow, that's really cool. That's really cool. That's really cool. But yeah, the system itself, I think, is its biggest downfall, and it doesn't lend itself to
new players
or even like just even casual type play. I could see like here's a one-off, but actually it's over 3 or 4 games.
I don't see this as a one-off.
Or anything long. Like I can't imagine playing this for years.
I couldn't. Just from your description, I can't say I would introduce this to new players.
No.
If you liked Over the Edge before, yes. If you are really into the role play aspect or the background, the story, or the storytelling event of it, and you have a group of them, probably maybe give it a try. But if something new. Probably not. If you like the dice rolling, you like the rules and the structure, like you said, probably not for you.
Right. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their own taste.
You're a rules guy, man. I hate to tell you that, but you like your structure just from the way you've been talking. Like
I love story. I love story.
You like story, but you like the rules with the story.
Right.
I could almost, I would like to Baron von Munchausen a lot of things, but I can't. A reference. No. No, I love rules. I'm all about the rules.
Like what I think makes a good rule system is they keep what's important, and they keep what's not important. Like with Forbidden Lands. How many arrows do I have? Instead of I roll it. You got a die setting. Okay, I roll that. Yeah. Once I get a 2, it goes down. But I love that idea. Those are awesome. Or taking parts of the game that is normally overlooked and being able to put a story into it with the journeys and stuff like that. In both the 5th edition of Middle Earth and Forbidden Lands and. Like all those things that here's just a very simple system to give structure to something that you would normally overlook. Whereas this is everything, just paint it however you wish. And there's a lot of good advice for GMing in here. I'm not saying they just throw you to the wolves or anything, but to me, it's so ambiguous that it'd be hard, I think, unless you had the perfect group of people to play. That's my opinion. It'd be very difficult.
It almost sounds like you just continued writing from day one to here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, everything from the previous editions are in here. I think if he would have kept the old rule system and just updated it, be like, here is 2nd edition updated to the 21st millennium, and I kept the old rule, but even in the beginning, like, why everything new? He's like, I didn't want to write something, just rehash something.
Okay.
And I can respect
at least
that.
he's honest about it.
Right. I can respect that. I can be like, all right, he just didn't want to be like, like how a lot of old bands that disbanded, like, hey, one of us needs a new house. Oh, okay, we're going on a reunion tour, guys. I get that. He doesn't want to just be like, hey, here's a supplement.
Sometimes you got to leave something.
But I think it kind of threw the baby out the bathwater with it. And
okay.
He kept all the great meat, but the potatoes part, it turned to mush.
A little soggy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're an old fan of it, pick it up. Honestly, pick it up just to see, because there's a lot of ideas that he kept in there, but changed significantly. Pick it up, see what's new about it, and definitely wax nostalgic about it. That's awesome.
What kind of number would you give it? What's your rating on that?
Out of 10, I'd give it a 5.
Oh,
give it a 5.
Well,
it's middle of the road. So middle. Like if it was a bad story in there too, like if it was just the system without all the cool stuff about the Edge and Amarja and the cool alternate history and conspiracy theories, it would have been. This would have been like just use it for firewood, man.
Okay. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt. It's got a good story.
It's got a good story. It's got a great premise.
Not enough rules for Nate. But that's cool. Yeah. But no, that's that's why you're honest with it. I didn't read it because I never do. I trust you, and if that's your opinion, that's your opinion.
It's almost like this is great for script writers. To be honest, that's what I felt like reading it. Like the person who wrote this must have had some kind of like script writing at one time, because it's all story.
Could be a movie background.
Right. Yeah,
okay,
like very Hollywood. Very Hollywood.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool too. But all right, well, that's cool. Anything else past that? Anything? I mean, after the review, anything else you can think of? Anything new, exciting? Any end notes? What's the end notes?
The end notes for this one, I think, is reiterate coming on Fridays for 40K
40K Fridays. 40K Fridays. We got plenty of terrain, table space.
Brick and mortar stores. Come on in, pre-order some stuff, or just hang out, play some games with some weird people, in the good way.
All right, so I got a few things we're going to throw out. Finally, after everything we've been doing, we're going to start renting the podcast room. Josh is working on a final draft of a contract. So if you want to use a podcast, hey, we're not Hollywood, but if you want to get something done for a reasonable price,
there you go.
You do audio, video, some editing, and all that good nonsense. So we're going to have that out for renting. It's going to be very affordable. We have pretty good equipment. Every time we get some couple extra bucks from Patreon or wherever we have it, we upgrade it. Mm-hmm. So it should. It's been going, and we also have the new exclusive gaming room,
which is really cool.
A table of ultimate gaming. It's a private gaming room. It looks like a little dungeon. Looks like private area. You can play. We've rented out in 4-hour blocks. We're gonna finalize that. Maybe make some kind of goofy little, just web commercial where we walk around or something like that. Don't forget about our online card selection. Go to our website, immortalsinc.com, hit store, and it'll take you right there. You need Magic, Vanguard, or some Yu-Gi-Oh!, some Pokemon. We got some other stuff going on there.
Spellfire.
You know what? One day I will look at it, or I'll just give you money and say, go away. But we got all that going on, so take a look. We are becoming more and more customers. We are growing a little bit at a time. My staff, which is basically my family and friends, are the ones doing all the work. So you guys are growing it. I'm just, like I said, I just pay the bills and I order stuff.
Yeah.
And I just kind of sit behind and make sure everything runs.
He allows them to go to the bathroom every now and again. It's really nice.
I let them get out.
Yeah.
The only thing I ask is, as the stores we grow, we're a big family. We like to think of our customers as family. Just treat each other respectfully. That's what I'm asking. So don't come in here a hot mess. Don't come in here and cause problems. Don't come in here and expect, I don't know, just, it's a big family environment. We're all sitting here. When we all play games together, we're going to be here for an extended period of time. So That's all I ask. Be respectful of each other.
Yeah, and don't be a dick. that goes in all life.
I didn't want to say. I was trying to be polite.
Right,
You know, but
see, I have less tact than you do, but yeah, just don't be a dick.
Just be happy to be here, and we're
Yeah.
having fun. This is my.
And if you do find yourself being that way, remove yourself.
Take a walk.
Yeah,
There's plenty of
get
places.
a breather.
Go get
It's just games.
Go get some
guys.
chicken wings.
Right.
Grab yourself a liquid death and chill out. Murder your thirst.
Right.
liquiddeath.com.
I've seen plenty of people get a little too competitive. It's like it's just a game, man. Like
It's just a game.
unless
Chill out.
your mortgage is riding on it, man. It's still at the end of the day.
If you're
gonna
betting
pick
in
those
the
cards
back,
back up, it'll be all right.
If you're betting in the back, you're wrong.
Yeah.
All right, guys. What are we gonna do next time?
From the Flood, I believe.
From the
is.
Flood.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very Stranger Things-ish.
Yes.
So it should fit in.
It's the Tales from the Loop.
Tales from the Loop secondary.
basically.
Yeah, second one.
so-
I think I'm gonna get the core one. Doggone it! I gotta order that one. Shoot. My luck is probably gone. I told Josh I'd order some. And I dropped the ball. Terrible, terrible store owner.
And as always, if anybody out there who listens to this wants to know or wants a specific game reviewed, and we haven't done it yet, obviously, drop us a line. Let us know. I will be more than happy to peruse and give you my 2 cents, which you can either take or throw away, whatever you want.
Yeah, I prefer new games that came
Yes.
out because waste a lot of time on a game I can't sell.
If you ask me to review, Dungeons and Dragons Second Edition, I'll be like, this is not 1989, guys. Like, if you don't know what D&D's,
the big one. We
too.
steer away from the big ones. We're looking
Right.
for the smaller or the reprints or the redos.
But even a bigger game that we might not have done, like if you want to know Pathfinder, you've never seen Pathfinder, let us let us know, like,
that's fine too. But
like-
just so you know, you're gonna get
right.
the
Don't ask me to
easiest
review,
version.
Buck Rogers from 1978 or something
that's
like that.
that's weird. If you have one you want to sell, you can come see me. But
Yeah.
All right, everybody. I think my voice is finally going. So give us a call at the shop, 216-712-7169. Check us out online at immortalsinc.com. Check us on Facebook, Immortals Inc. and Immortals Inc. across the Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, which I'm probably going to stream some Twitch later.
All right.
I kind of fell off. I got to get my brother off his butt and help me. So, till next time, guys. Later.
Happy gaming.